Matthew Arnone. I'm a defender for Atletico Ottawa. I think I started quite a bit younger than most. I had an older brother who obviously played. He was 4 years older than me, and so I think I started when I was like 2 years old. Just as you know, as soon as I could walk, I can remember kicking a ball. So. I'm a big fan of mobility, so I have a holistic yoga practice in terms of meditation, and I think that's something that on the mental side of the game, I think that's something that's lacking. So when I think of mobility and I think of the being as a whole being, I think of mobility in physical, but also in the mental, and allowing ourselves to be mentally flexible and allowing ourselves to be resilient. So that's something that I've implemented in the last few years, and it's paid huge dividends for me in my career.
What do you?
I guess I'll stick with warm-ups and cool-downs are again body and mind centered. So a strict core activation followed with full body mobility and then some breath work. So focusing on breathing, diaphragmatic breathing, to not just improve systemic blood flow to the rest of the body, but to allow myself to dial in on the mental side and make that connection between body and mind before I head on the field. I think as I progressed through the collegiate ranks into the professional ranks, nutrition became a huge part of one of the many 1%, as I like to call them, for differentiating yourself. I think as you get to those high levels, everyone's an elite athlete. Everyone is doing all the things that you can traditionally think of that an athlete might be doing. But I think things like nutrition and sleep are those explorations that one must take to understand to understand how your body works optimally. And those are the 1% that can really separate you and push you to the pro ranks or push you to whatever your dreams and goals and aspirations might be. I think to give time where time is due. I think a lot of us as footballers, we want to push and we want to always do more. And I think it's about discipline and understanding where you're at in your season or where you're at in your year. And arriving in time rather than arriving early in terms of the physical preparedness. Doing too much often leads to injury and overtraining disorder, and that's something that I suffered from, and the desire to want to be the best, and that stuff comes with being a professional athlete. But I think I think periodization and really allowing yourself to meet yourself where you're at and grow from there without overtraining or causing injury that way. Certainly core activation. I think that's something that if we look at the body in general, the central pieces of our body are the spine and the core, and that's something that we need to switch on, and that's something that we certainly need to tap into as we extend outwards to our extremities. If we can hone in on sort of home base and our heart center, we can spread outwards with more efficiency. Oh, it's been huge. I think there's a certain degree of accountability that a player has to take for themselves in their own recovery. But I think, again, as we are experts in our field, there are certainly experts in the respective field of physiotherapy and athletic therapy. And I think using and knowing where you fall short and where you can look for help is certainly a part of our support system and has kept me on the field, whether it be even a mental coach or a physiotherapy clinic or whatever it is. It's been something that you build a human connection with that person. They become part of your support system, and they allow you to grow while keeping you on the field, right? And I think that's super important to know where you fall short and to know where you can be picked up in those moments.